A very warm welcome to each and every one of you, respected staff and teachers, and also to my dear fellow student. I am welcoming you to our Career Talk webinar this SOAST week, entitled Successfully Finding a Career in the Digital Landscape. Attention to all participants, please read the do's and don'ts that is being flashed in your screen. Career is a very important thing in one's life. Whatever career path you choose to follow, it will impact your life greatly. Your career will define your status in a society in addition to your lifestyle. In other words, your career will determine your social circle and relationships. To give an opening and inspirational remarks, here's our very own LiveCom advisor, Mr. Mark James Kayabyab.
Thank you, Claire. Good afternoon, everyone. So, to our Dean, Engineer Soleil Duque, to all our program heads, Sir Jadel Roman and Ms. Vanessa Mangunay, to all the LiveCom officers and IT students, to all the participants of this call, to all the organizers, and all the students, good afternoon. Um, I would like to say thank you first to all our guest speakers, to all our resource speakers this afternoon. I would like to say thank you to Ms. Jeanette Tubil, the Service Delivery Operations Manager for Accenture, for accepting our invitation. I know it's been a short notice, but you still find time to be with us, ma'am. Thank you so much po. To our two BSIT alumni, Aldhen and Michael, thank you for saying yes immediately when I invited you to speak. Thank you, Shai, for helping me. I know you'll be able to inspire all our BSIT graduating students and all our BSIT students in their new chapter in their life once they step up and at the same time enter the IT workforce. I am very excited to hear and to learn from all our distinguished speakers today. I hope all the participants are excited as well. Thank you again and welcome to day 3 of SOAS Week. You are all watching BSIT Career Talk. And now I turn over the virtual floor to our energetic and charismatic MC, Claire. Go ahead.
Thank you, Sir Kayabyab. Thanks a lot for that heartwarming opening remarks, Sir Kayabyab. I am personally excited for this webinar simply because we are rapidly reaching the point of our life where we have to choose the path we will take. I know we are all expecting Mr. Alex to be our first speaker for today, but due to some changes, Mr. Alex will not be able to deliver his talk for today. But don't worry. I'd like you all to meet our first guest speaker for today's webinar, and she's been working with Accenture since November 2008 and worked with different projects and teams since then. She is also one of Accenture's inclusion and diversity champion engaged with Accenture's corporate women's volleyball team. I am very proud to introduce Ms. Jeanette Tubil, Service Delivery OPS Manager. Hi, Ms. Jeanette.
Hello, I'll give myself a round of applause. Joke lang. Just making sure that people are energetic as me. And I know that I wasn't the one that is expected today, but I'm really looking forward to talking through about Accenture and just letting everyone know, no? I know that I was introduced as a service delivery operations manager, but I've recently moved to another role, and that actually gave me an opportunity to know about other sides of Accenture, which I will talk through about later on. And I'm really looking forward to telling you how good a company the Accenture is. Mahalata nyo later on how loyal and passionate I am talking about that a company that I've been with for 13 years. And hopefully you'll also take into consideration this company when you start your career journey. So I'll just wait for the slide to be up. But I hope you can tell me Claire, is my audio okay? Am I coming in clear?
Yes, Ma'am Jeanette, loud and clear.
Okay. And by the way, you can also address me as JT because it sounds younger, no? So that's why I go by JT. And that's the reason why, you'll hear a lot of things later on that would show or, let you know my age. Pero I'll try to keep it as much as possible. But yeah, happy to be here. Always happy to talk to students about the real world. And I wish when I was younger, we have something like this. Kasi at least we get to know what's in store for us. So take advantage of this kind of events because this will help you a lot. Sa amin parang nung panahon ko, sige, bahala na si Batman kung ano yung kukunin kong course. Bahala na we don't even know what company we got in. My first company is not, I mean, I wasn't even familiar with. And I'm really happy that in this generation, you get to hear a lot about the journey or the careers that you can get into, and you can assess which one works for you. Okay, so I'm not sure if Rain or Marielle is able to bring up the deck um, for so that we can start, talking about Accenture. And so while we're waiting for that, Claire mentioned that I'm part of the inclusion and diversity. I'm actually the first female LGBT lead in Accenture. So we do have inclusion and diversity. We're very big on that because Accenture, has no bias in hiring whoever, right? We hire PWD. I remember having a team member who is deaf mute, and everyone in our team actually learned sign language so that he can feel that he belongs. So that's the kind of company I'm in. Inclusion and diversity is big on creating an inclusive and safe environment for our employees, in fact. And that's the kind of company that I really love to be in, where always remember that people do better or perform better when they can be themselves. So in inclusion and diversity, no matter how diverse, we don't have a bias in hiring. We don't hire based on religion, sexual orientation, the gender identity and expression, and all that. So um, that's the kind of company that we have. Rain, are we playing the video first? Just wanted to check.
Yes, JP will be
Okay.
playing it.
All right.
Okay, we'll start now. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Rain. All right, let's start with this video. Rain, I don't think we have sounds, or is it just me?
So
Okay.
sorry, let me try that again.
No worries, guys. This is a live show, so technical difficulties like that happen. So let's try again, Rain, one more time with feelings. Here we go.
Yes, will do. Let me know if you can hear it already.
Yep.
With a bang, energy and change came to every part of our universe. Seismic.
Rain, sorry. We hear the sounds, but I don't see the video.
Change.
Is it just
Again.
me?
In here, JT, I cannot see the video.
Okay. All right. So again, we'll try it. We'll try it one more time. Okay, Rain. I think we see the video now, but we don't have the sounds. So any chance we could fix that we can have both? So for everyone on the call, I hope we can say that Accenture is still a good company in spite of the technical difficulties that we're facing right now. Okay. Um, I guess we can Rain. I'm not sure if you're still able to fix it where we can hear the video and the sounds, but otherwise I could begin if you guys are okay with that. But the video is powerful really because maganda yung music niya, nakaka-inspire. But hopefully we can try to play it again later on. But wanted to let since we have the deck up already. So we're shifting to a digitized career placement and its impact to recruiting. So obviously because of what happened and because of where we're at right now, our workforce disruption, we're experiencing it right now. The disruption that we have is, I mean, that it's totally different 2 years ago or prior to 2 years ago. How we're doing the recruitment, how we're trying to get the best people in, how we're making sure that we have the right people, we hire the right people. So, Rain, if we could move to the next slide. So, since we're experiencing this disruption, we've changed a few things in our recruitment process. So, of course, everybody or every company right now across the globe had to do something different to stay relevant, right? And if you do know that a lot of uh, companies have been impacted because of our current situation. So we need, if you're, as a company, you need to be able to adjust to make sure that you stay relevant. Now, I we wanted to show you how things have changed in terms of recruitment. So if we could move on to the next slide, please. Now, how do companies recruit talent? So if you see here on the left side is the pre-COVID, and the right side is what we call the next normal, right? So just going through this, so may flyering, I seem to remember that a lot of people during my time, no, a lot of people are hired just to give away a flyer that would say we are hiring, or I don't think I've ever seen anything like that here anymore. But during the time that I was looking for a job, when we walked through the the in Makati, because Makati during that time was the go-to companies that we are the go-to place for companies to apply for. And we see people sending out flyers saying that there are um you know there are we hire as well. Now we do that. Before it was door to door, and after that, if you get all the qualifications met, you have the face-to-face interviews, and there are some assessment tests that you have to take, right? I remember during my time, I had to go to a building with a friend of mine. We had to do testing, I mean typing test right there and then. If you don't meet the number of words per minute, you don't go to the next level. So we had to stay like what 5 6 hours just to go through everything, the interviews and all that. Now in the next normal, you see we use the social media and internet, and later on we'll share with you all those social media accounts that Accenture has. There are AI generated job boards that are popping, in LinkedIn. You get to see that there is, you get to know that there is available roles that is, aligned with your skills. Virtual interviews are happening right now. I remember doing an interview via Google Hangouts, where it was a face-to-face interview. Now we're doing that right now. We used to do it personally. We had to go through the actual office and be interviewed in a room. And exams are no longer manual. You have an online exam that can be the basis of your your assessment. So that's how the companies do the recruiting talent right now. Now, if we move on to the next slide, wanted to talk to you about the challenges we face because we've never faced this before, but we need to stay relevant. So we needed to make sure that we change a lot of things in terms of recruitment. So, but the challenge that we see here is, when ako personally, when I'm interviewing somebody, normally, everything on paper, it's good to see on paper, but sometimes there is what we call, gut feel, if the person is really, the right person. I mean, it's always not 100% because from what I learned, only 7% of the applicant is what you see on the actual when they hit the floor, right? But less personal interactions happen. So sometimes the gauging is masyadong distant, no? So the fallout rate also happens due to technical difficulties. Minsan there is an interview and then biglang walang internet and then hindi na matutuloy, so hindi nagkakaroon ng progress yung interview, right? And then higher percentage of unresponsiveness and rescheduled application. Again, same issue, can't be contacted because uh, we have to schedule the application. Unlike before, you really have to get in. If you don't get in, bye na, that's it. So ito may rescheduled pa because we have to be also patient about the difficulties that our applicants are facing in this time, no? But what's working is it's faster and more streamlined, no? We have the skills that we need easier. We have it online. The interviews are done online, the assessments are done online. It secures the safety and security of our applicants because they don't have to get exposed, they don't have to travel to go to the office or you know that kind of thing, and it's cost efficient for both the job seeker and the employer. So that's what's working for us now. When we actually, if we move on to the next slide, this is now the snapshot of the skills that are needed since the future is changing, no? So top 10 skills, as you can see here, and I won't go through everything, right? You can see on the left side the analytical, the critical thinking, and on the right is more the human behavior, the problem solving, the leadership, emotional intelligence, and this is the top 10 that we the skills that are needed, especially right now. No, we need to be more innovative. We need to be more creative. We need to be more we have more emotional intelligence or higher emotional intelligence to ensure that we continue to keep our people engaged as well. So if we move on to the next slide, I would like to give you the Accenture overview. No, why did I stay here for the past 13 years? Um, as you can see on your screens, Accenture is a global professional services. And a lot of times, because, yung time namin, yun yung height ng call center, ng BPO. So, when people ask me, so is Accenture a call center, a BPO? I always say no because, we're more than that. And I'll explain later on. So as you can see, we have unmatched experience. We have specialized skills across more than 40 industries, even across 120 countries. We're servicing 120 countries across the globe. So actually, ito 569,000 yung nakalagay dito. We're almost at 700,000 globally, delivering on the promise of technology and human ingenuity. You know, I know that you've probably heard from the start of the pandemic that a lot of companies have closed down. But Accenture was thriving even during the 2 years. We were able to adapt to the changes very quickly. Hence, even our stocks went up, and our companies, thriving during this time. This is because again we were able to stay relevant, right? Still continue to create value and shared success with our clients. For our clients, for their people, shareholders, partners, and communities. And I'll talk through it even more how we did that. So if we move on to the next slide, this is the range of services that we have. So you can see here you have strategy and consulting, you have your interactive, you have your technology, and you have your operations. Now, in other companies, they can only do operations or they can only do technology. or some can only do strategy and interactive, but none other than Accenture can do all four, right? So um and I will dig deeper on the two last two here, the technology and operations later on. But basically, the whole company, the company itself can service clients across all these towers. So strategy and consulting, we become consultants in terms of transforming their business. We interactive, we reimagine their business. We there is design, build, and test, or migration, replatforming, and rehosting. And then technology, delivering on the promise that technology holds. The technology that we I mean, the kind of services that we offer on the technology side and the operation side actually creates more revenue for our client, and in even reducing cost for them. Now, if we move on to the next slide, no, before I dig deeper on the two big towers in our company, this is a snapshot of the facilities that we have in Accenture. Initially, we only have the one in Mandaluyong, which is Robinson Cybergate. We've been there for a long time. This is where I started my career in this building. And then now we have 20 facilities across three locations. We have one in Ilocos, we have 13 in Manila, and we have in Cebu six facilities in there. So we've pretty much kind of covered everything in terms of location. We have the one in Manila in itself. We have the north and the south part of it, so that we can cater to our applicants as well. Okay, so if we move on to the next slide, this is where I mean, this is the two biggest that we have. I've been to both. No, I'm in intelligent operation centers. I've been there almost 13 years. And then in the last few months, I'm already part of the advanced technology centers. And what do we do? Because we wanted to ensure that you have an idea what we do here. So if we move on to the next slide, I'll start with technology. Advanced technology centers, it's more intelligent platform services, the intelligent data analytics. So usually our client would kind of um, talk to us about this intelligent platform services. If you're familiar with SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, and Salesforce, and then we have the intelligent under that intelligent cloud and infrastructure services like service desk, cloud. I'm part of the cloud first right now, data center and network. You see here, there's also intelligent data and analytics. That's data architecture, strategy, migration, anything. Usually we ensure that we have all the data that we need so that we can recommend the kind of service that we can give to our clients. And lastly, you can see there intelligent cloud and infrastructure services. Some the kind of services that we help our clients. So I have one deal right now where we're helping them migrate to cloud, because that's the way to go to sustain and stay relevant. So that's the kind of services that we give for technology. Now, if we move on to the next slide, now this intelligent operation centers, now we have cross-industry services, and dyan papasok yung mga finance and accounting, HR, procurement, marketing, customer service, and then you have industry-specific services. You have health, network, utilities, insurance, form. In health, a lot of the clients, we've managed to help a lot of the clients, specifically because of the pandemic. The health tower has grown as well because of what we have, what we currently face. But I've been with finance and accounting as well. Been with utilities and software and platforms. Insurance also went up because, again, because of the pandemic that we're facing right now. What we do is we recommend, we do due diligence for them. We say this is what we can recommend for you. If you're doing the job with 10 people, we can make it more efficient for you and put in transformation for your process. So they outsource the job to us, and we do the job better for them, and which leads to revenue increase for their company. Okay, so that's the technical side of Accenture. Of course, it's not all just work, and we believe that we wanted to make sure, people are the. I mean, people is our number one. People are the number one asset of Accenture. We won't have great people uh, retained if we don't have a great place to work. So how do we make a place a great place to work? So if you look at the screen right now, you can see how we're creating the workplace environment. We've managed to receive a lot of awards for that. Just recently, we're the top three great place to work in the Philippines. I've talked to you about inclusion and diversity. Accenture is big in inclusion and diversity. We don't, again, if you're good, your credentials are good, we don't care what your background is. And that's the reason why we always have the best people. And that's why we have been more than 35 years in the Philippines at this point. And we're really proud of that. We're also proud in the sustainability practices that we follow, and that's the reason why we were recognized by PESA. And if we continue to click on it, Rain, I think there are a few more under. So empowering our people, again, we have a group of professionals who continuously review what is needed by our people to get them engaged, to let them stay in the company longer. And that's the kind of thing that we are that's important to Accenture as well. So if you move on to the next slide, Rain, so we can talk more about how we're building a culture. So this is innovation and learning. So this is a snapshot of what we usually do. It's not all just work, it's also fun. We have, and one of the things that I wanted to touch is, or to point out, is I remember when I was supposed to enter Accenture back in 2008. I started in 2008. My a colleague of mine said, "Oh, you're moving to Accenture. Good luck, ha. Malulunod ka daw sa training dyan." Right? And it is true. And this sometimes, the trainings right now, I'm going through. Later on, I have a Japanese language training that is sponsored by Accenture, and this is not this is an expensive training outside, right? If you're paying personally for this, and Accenture actually supports your journey. Accenture supports your development, and we have a lot of training certifications. Malulula kayo, because that actually stays with you and is part of your credential, right? Hindi siya basta training na internal lang. Ano siya, recognized training certification. So if you choose to leave Accenture, it doesn't get stripped off from you. Pero don't leave Accenture if you've joined it already. But what I'm saying is, that's the kind of investment that Accenture gives to the people for their development, right? And I remember being sent out to New York before, which is invested by Accenture, just to be trained on inclusion and diversity. We have what we call L3, which is LGBT leaders learning, and I was able to go to New York for that, and I get to meet global LGBT leaders of Accenture, and we collaborate, exchange ideas on how to still continue creating a safe environment for our LGBT employees. So you can imagine how much, how much Accenture care for our people. If we move on to the next slide, this is what we offer, no, to our employees. We have competitive packages. We have upskilling and work and arrangement, health benefits, of course, because we wanted to make sure that we take care of our people when they get sick. We have standard leave benefits. We have expanded parental leaves, and I know that I keep saying this because this is not your normal package, but for our LGBT and employees, so not just LGBT employees, but employees who are not able to get married, we have a life partner benefit that we offer. And not all companies do that because that's not, it's not a traditional benefit that, local companies give. But in Accenture, we have that. So if you can see on the health benefits, can you go back, please? Common law and same-sex partners recognized as dependents, and that is what we're proud of as well, because we don't just take care of our people, we take care of our people and their needs, and their families. So even the maternity leaves have been expanded to 120 days, and even our paternity leaves, no, paternity leaves used to be just 7 days. Now it's 30 days because, even fathers need time with their newborn babies. Okay, so if we move on to the next slide, please. Okay, so what's next? And I hope this time we have a video that we can play, right? Rain, with the audio as well, I hope. So while we're waiting for that, I know that it was mentioned that I'm part of the Accenture Women's Volleyball Corporate Team, right? So we also have that kind of communities, and we'll talk about that later on. Yes, go ahead, Rain, you can say it.
Welcome to the Accenture application journey. There are 5 steps in our application process, which is completely virtual for your safety and convenience. Ready to begin? Let's go! The journey starts when you submit your application or your resume through our career site, accenture.com/phstudents. You may also submit your resume at our virtual career fairs. Next, we'll validate the information in your resume or the details you submitted through our career site. Once your resume or information passes our screening process, you will receive a message about your pre-employment assessment, as well as an online application form. Make sure to complete this form. On the next level, after you submit your application form, you will need to take an online pre-employment test or complete a phone interview. What's next after you pass our pre-employment test or phone interview? Your recruiter will call you within 24 to 48 hours to conduct a virtual interview. You've reached the finish line. Once you pass your final interview, your recruiter will give you a job offer through email or over the phone. Congratulations! Now that you know the Accenture application process, let's talk about some roles that are available for fresh graduates. Meet our customer liaison/customer service reps. They're responsible for managing the billing and collections issues of our clients' customers. They also provide technical and sales support. We also have customer liaisons who work as service desk associates. They provide initial support for customer requests or system incidents. They also document, escalate, and track all incidents. If you have a keen eye for detail and love solving problems, then you're perfect for our data expert/analyst role. Data analysts process transactions and review user reports on website content. We also have data experts who help improve data algorithms to keep online platforms safe for everyone. If you like numbers, then you're perfect for our numbers analyst role. A numbers analyst works on general accounting processes, including billing, records, and the core financial processes of our clients. Our software scientists handle programming related tasks, including coding, testing, and launching apps or software. See any role that interests you? Remember, even if you're still in school, you can explore the wonderful opportunities at Accenture. Visit accenture.com/phstudents to learn more about our internship and leadership programs. We also have innovation competitions, which are geared for students like you.
Okay, finally that worked. Great, thanks so much. Um, this is a snapshot of the candidate journey map, and so you've seen the roles that we have. You've heard about the overview of our company. So you know you can also start looking at how you're gonna be able to, or how you're gonna apply for a role in Accenture. So this is the journey map that we have. So we talked about the application, how you're gonna be able to do it. And you can't it's always been a discussion. You can't get a role in Accenture if you don't take the first step. So apply. This is the way that application happens. It's virtual now. It's easy. It's one click here and there, and then screening and validation will start. Pre-employment test will happen. Our HR will interview, reach out to you, and if we see that you're the right fit for the job, we offer you we extend the job offer once you pass all the virtual interviews. It could be virtually or over the phone. So a lot, and again, as I've said, during this past 2 years, it was a very challenging um times for us. We didn't see it coming, but because we stayed relevant, we were able to get more clients, hence resulting to more job offers, hence increasing our number of employees. So if you've seen the video, you see anything there that interests you, please take into consideration applying for a role in Accenture. Okay, so if we move on to the next slide, Rain, this is a snapshot of our technology starter roles, by the way. So if you're into tech, you can be a software scientist or a data expert, anything that has to do with software platforms and cloud. These are the starter roles for technology. And then if we move on to the next slide, this is the operations starter roles. So this is the outsourcing part. You can be a number analyst, also a data expert, where there is data analyst and content moderators, and of course there we have the customer service representatives. Yeah, so those are the starter roles for our two biggest towers in Accenture. If you move on to the next slide, this is how you learn more about Accenture. You can go to accenture.com/PH students. You can also discover about Accenture through our social media accounts. You can see here we have the Facebook account, we have Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and then Instagram as well. So please follow this social media so you get to learn more about it, or you get to learn more about Accenture. And then if we move on, I think that's basically it. And so I wanted to touch a little bit of what I said a while ago. So you heard about the technical side of Accenture, you heard about the business side of Accenture, you've heard about inclusion and diversity. I wanted to touch a little bit more of the communities that we have. Just like in college, we have clubs, and that's why more people are engaged and retained in Accenture, because we're not all business. We also know how to play. So Accenture have sports and lifestyle communities. So we have sports. We actually joined the BPO Olympics, and we have been 5-time overall champion 5 years consecutively. And I was leading that team as well. I was the overall communities lead, and we've we've joined all events in the BPO Olympics. So from basketball, volleyball, badminton, we also have table tennis, bowling. So you can imagine how much fun we do as well, and how engaged you can be. That's on the sports side. On the lifestyle side, we have photography club. I'm actually part of, well, not part officially, but I've sang with our Amplify a cappella group. We do have a cappella group. Yes, we have, well, we don't call it esports, but it's more of a lifestyle. We have a gaming community, if that's what you're referring to. We do have a gaming community. We have tournaments like Legend tournaments, PUBG tournaments, COD tournaments, across. If you saw the industry, right? I'm not sure about, I'm not all into the games, so I'm not really familiar with Apex and all that. But believe me, there is a community that is into that as well. So we have photography club. So you can imagine it's like college, but you're earning. So, but this communities, you don't get paid to play for this. Just to be clear, this is just the fun side of it. So, meaning you have that kind of um, communities and events that you can de-stress, right? So it's not all business. Um, I saw a question about intern. I will have to defer that to our HR because I'm not sure if we're taking in interns at this point. And we will park that unless Rain, anybody from our team can answer that, or should we park that question? Because I'm not sure if we do have interns or but I know that we accept fresh grads. But interns, I'm not sure if they started doing internship already.
Yeah. Hi, JT, chiming
Hi,
in
Rain.
here. So, Rain here, part of our the Accenture's recruitment team. No, so yes, we do have internship opportunities, and you will be able to see that as well in the link that we have provided in the chat box. So please feel free to visit that website anytime. Thank you.
Thanks, Rain, for confirming that. There you go. Yes, we have internship. So please look it up and be part of our team. I think we can open the floor already. So again, as I've said, it's not all business. We also have fun. So I've been part of the volleyball community as well, and played volleyball. I'm the oldest on there, pero we do have some Ateneo players that joined us after they graduated. I don't know if you're familiar with A. Nakachi. Was part of our volleyball team. She played for us before she left for Japan. But yeah, we have, and I don't know if you're familiar with Rika Paras, the first transgender Pinoy Big Brother. I think it was season 3. Nirika Paras is my mentor. She was the one who taught me about sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression. She actually was able to create that curriculum to educate people about sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression. And one of the things that we're proud of as an LGBT community, so we have what we call flag LGBT community. We partner with HR, in fact. Back in 2008, dati yung ano namin, yung dress code namin is specific men and women. Now our dress code policies, because we have transgender employees in our company, there's no gender specific dress code. So there are just, this is what you're going to wear. Doesn't matter if you're how you identify yourself. So and that actually helped our transgender employees. Do you accept foreign employees of your competitors? Very interesting question. Do you accept? Yes. If we feel, and again, we don't have any bias. We believe in the power of best people, and we don't discriminate whatever background that you have. If you're a competitor, there may just be some um, rules from their previous clients that they cannot. If we're servicing the same clients, maybe there's a certain grace period before you join the team, and all that stuff. Um, so offering of work from home, again, right now, at this point, because it's kind of getting into the next normal, right? We do have projects that are, doing work from home. We do have projects that are required to be on site, so we can't guarantee that you immediately get that. So, but yeah, that's what we have. Okay. Anyone else? I guess we've opened the Q&A already, no? Rain? Open po ba kayo sa mga working students po? Okay. So, and again, Rain, feel free to jump in. I do have some people who are it depends on that, right? I do have team members who are working, and at the same time after their shift they're taking in nursing, they're taking in their masters and all that. I think that's not something that we stop our people from doing. So unless, and again, it will just have to ensure that the schedules are, not coinciding. I think that's how we do it.
Yes, JP. So echoing what JP said, we just need, so currently we do have full-time employments for everyone, but we highly encourage everyone to, of course, disclose to our recruiters your schedule so that we can accommodate now. So very much accommodating si Accenture in terms of this scheduling. So we take that, your preferences in terms of schedule and shift into consideration now with your application. So please do, if ever you wish to apply, please do let us know regarding the preferences and your current schedules. Thank you.
Thanks, Rain.
Sorry, JP, taking on another question, do you accept undergrads? Yes, with specific experience now. So we do have posts that are open for undergrads, but we look into skills, of course, and experience, previous experience. So please do reflect that on your resumes now once you pass them to us. Thank you.
Thank you. And I see here from Julian Crystal, do you know Entity Data Wizards Group? Unfortunately, I don't. But I'm not sure if this is, a group or a group that you are part of or is being recognized as well. But I'm not familiar with that. Sorry about that, Miss Jan.
JT, here's a question from
Sure.
Francesca Gonzalez. Is this on-site po?
Which is on site? Sorry, yung hiring or what are we talking about?
I think the job.
Okay. Is on site. Okay, so as mentioned a while ago, there are clients that are still right now. Some of our teams are doing work from home. Others are already doing the return to office. We're slowly going back to that. So I couldn't guarantee that, hey, come to us, we're offering work from home. I could guarantee that because you could go and be part of a team that has that, or you can be part of the team that is not offering that. So it could be either. There's a question here sa Dev Kapuba. So right now, I am part of a solutions architect in technology. So what we do as a solutions architect is more coming up with a package for our clients based on what we can do or what we've already done in previous, in other clients that we have. So kami yung nagsasabi na, okay, kaya namin yan, mas mabilis pa kami dyan, ganyan. So kami yun. But so no, I guess I'm not. If the question is if I'm part of the developer, or am I a developer? No, I'm not. I'm a solutions architect. But we are the ones telling them what kind of offering that we have. Okay, I think there's a question here from Sir James. concerns about the learning and goals on trainings and competitions. You mentioned about student competition. How can we join on those competitions? Thanks for that, Sir James. So we have some, in technology, we've actually gone through some innovation competition. So Accenture sponsors this kind of innovation competition. It's also available on our sites when it's up. The criteria of joining. So like parang a group of students would come up with an innovative or innovation that they can do. They present it, and then they get prize money from that, and they can get like parang partnership with Accenture, and we'll try to see your innovation go into fruition, no? So those are available in our sites. Every year, I think we have that competition happening across all schools and universities and colleges. I think I forgot who was the recent college that won this year, but yeah, it's continuous. We'll be happy to reach out, James, in terms of say letting you know when this happens as well. Okay. Yeah, parang Shark Tank, parang ganun. Or I don't know, parang something like present to us your idea. Why would it be beneficial? Bakit siya maganda? Bakit siya innovative? Bakit kikita ba kami dyan? Ano bang, parang ganun. So others have already, parang some ideas have already progressed and has been sponsored. So parang, sige, I'll sponsor you. Mag-invest ako kasi maganda yung idea na yan. And that's how usually the competition happens. I hope I was able to answer your question. So the social media, yes, the sites will help. Okay, there's a question here from Julian. I used to handle Microsoft. Ooh, okay, I used to handle Microsoft Azure trainings at Accenture. That's nice. Thanks, Julian, Crystal. I haven't gone through the Azure training yet, but since I just joined technology, but I'm looking forward to that training as well. Hope to see you. Okay. So yeah, so Rain mentioned you may also follow our social media pages and sites kasi dun yung promotional eh. Parang join our innovation, whatever. Yes, please. Highly encourage. That's how Accenture invests because we know the future of the world is in our youth, and best ideas coming from our youth today. Of course, kami mga old dinosaurs na kami, so yung mga millennials and Gen Zs will be the one coming up with awesome ideas, innovative ideas that will make us stay relevant. So yes, please join that competition. Okay. I think we still have a few minutes, Rain, right? Any other questions from your end, Claire, or anyone else from the group?
You can see if you have any more questions for JT and for Miss Rain. And I think we facilitate Claire. Anyone?
Anyone from BSIT or BSP, Bliss?
Yeah, because this would be our opportunity to ask more questions. Again, we're really happy doing this because we wanted to ensure that you have an opportunity to know about the company you're joining. So I hope I was able to paint that picture. Right, this last 2 years, people have been in our company have been very creative to stay relevant as well. So yeah, we also use social media. I use my own social media to talk about relevant topics as well, like um, uh, sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression. So, that LGBT myths and all that. So we were told to use the social media as well. So yeah, if you can also search that. You can also follow me to look that up and see what kind of activities we have as well.
So JT,
Okay.
yes, I have a
Thanks,
question
James.
sana.
Sure.
Kasi 'di ba yung NTC kasi they're isa siyang school na they also produces psych, especially SOAS, they produce psych and life science students. Meron bang ganung opportunity sa Accenture for them, yung mga graduates ng LIS or library science and psych?
Yeah, I think those are the kind of sa technology kasi, and again, because I have not explored it as much as I have explored operations, the technology part, you'll be amazed on what kind of opportunities that we offer to our students, especially yung mga ganyan, no, that kind of opportunity. And if you have have a chance to showcase those, then that would be good, because Accenture is really open into new stuff, right? And then that kind of technology, and yes, that's something that can help the students showcase their skills and innovation. I hope I was able to
JT.
answer your question, James.
Yes, you did. You did, JT. You did well. Jayan, you have a question po? Wait. Papa-unmute kita, Jayan. Wait lang. Sir Michael, pwede pong pa-unmute si Julian po. Thank you, sir.
Ayan. Hi, good afternoon, JT.
Hello.
Ayun. So, hindi, iba kasi pagka verbally no? Anyways, yun na, nasabi ko kanina. Kasi, nung nag-work ako sa entity data actually. Yung DB Wizard siya before. We
I see.
conducted training sa Accenture. And yung sinasabi mo, add ko lang para doon sa mga students ko. Fresh graduates are really welcome. And then, ang maganda talaga yung package nila with regards on the training. Kasi, napakamahal ng training sa Microsoft partner, alam mo yan. And nagtataka ako talagang maraming budget si Accenture. Papadala sila ng fresh graduate sa amin para mag-train. And then, lahat yon Microsoft programs. Yan, hanggang sa mag-ASP.NET, hanggang mag-core, hanggang kahit saan, hanggang security, yan, infrastructure, ayan. By the way, kasi MCT ako, kaya
I see.
Affiliate ako sa kanila. Kaya sa Accenture, yung sasabihin ko rin sa student ko, ang hirap makapasok sa Accenture. Pero once na nakapasok ka, big time.
Actually, I have to agree, Julie, because Accenture is not my first company.
Iba yung pride na kapag nalagpasan mo lahat yung interview, tapos yung mga nila, yung trainings, tapos kung gaano kahigpit yung security, login pa lang sa IQN, nalalaka na ako. 'Di ba? So,
yes.
Iba, pero ang ganda ng nila sa empleyado, papadalang ka ng laptop, right? Talaga, kinabukasan nandiyan na. Lahat ng kailangan mo ipoprovide. Even sa training, lahat ng nakausap kong tao na part ng training and development, ang babait, grabe, hindi ko nakitaan ng attitude problem. Iba-ibang klase. Sabi ko, okay yung mga tao dito. Ang galing magsala. Actually, ang galing sumala ng tao ng Accenture. Wala ka maanong mayayabang na kahit ang tatalino nila, kahit ang daming alam, yun, kaya gusto ko ring encourage, siguro yan, as part of, dahil sa training na to at seminar na to, I would tell more sa student ko regarding that. Kasi syempre, baka may gusto pa silang kung paano talaga eh. Although mahirap, talagang susud ka sa butas ng karayom, di ba? Pero worth it lahat yon once na nakapasok ka talaga sa Accenture. Yes, kasi kaya gusto ko rin magsalita. Yung experience ko, para ako na yung patunay na na sa Accenture, hindi lang sa malaki sila magpasweldo. 'Di ba? Pero yun nga, I have to choose eh. Kaya yon kaya andito pa rin ako sa NTS. Charot, char lang. Ayun. Anyways, ayan, okay ang Accenture. Kaya
Thank
guys,
you.
Yan,
thank you so much.
Sige.
Thanks, Jayan.
Thanks for sharing that. That's that's something that we're really happy to hear, and thank you so much, because it's you're right, kasi this is not my first company, and I never thought that I'd get in, and that's why I never tried applying. Alam mo yun, yung tipong hindi na pumasa ka ba sa Accenture? Hindi naman ako nag-apply eh. Di ba? Parang yun yung lagi mo sinasabi, but once you applied actually and you have that sense, believe in what you can do, and then you apply, and you're right, once you get in, you're in, and you can enjoy everything that Accenture can offer. So thanks again, Julian, for sharing your experiences. And Rain, I'm not sure if we're at time, or can we still accommodate some questions here? I think there are some questions coming up.
Feel free to ask questions, guys.
Okay. Rain, do you want anything else that we can do? We still have time. Yun sa programs trainings can be as short as 30 minutes online and as long as months for certification. So it can vary depending on the kind of trainings that you're in. We some projects we accept graduating students. Again, as mentioned by Rain, just make sure that you declare. One thing that Accenture is really, really particular with is integrity. So anything that you need to declare while you're applying, you need to declare it so that Accenture can make that decision where, okay, pag-graduate na to, we can start with this person and all that. And yes, we are open to to fresh grads. I think yun nga, if you're a graduating student and you applied and then you just need to let the interviewer or the recruiter know when you're ending or when you're graduating. Those are critical information that are needed when applying. But yes, there are we are open to to graduating students or fresh grads. Okay, thanks for that.
Thank you so
First years,
much, Sophie.
yeah, I think I saw a question here. First year students, I will have to defer to recruitment here. I'm not sure if we do. Um, for first year students, you mean first year high school, ganun?
Yes,
Ay,
I
first
think.
year
Yes,
college,
I think.
sorry.
Yes. Mm-mm.
First year college. I have to defer to recruitment team here because I'm not sure about that. I do know about graduating students and fresh grads, but I'm not sure kung first year pa lang. I think that will be where the internship will come in. I'm not sure.
Yes, correct, JT. So for first year students, unfortunately, what we have are full-time employments currently. So of course, even government mandate, we only accept 18 and above of legal age. So yeah, for first year students, we do have different programs that are offered also to schools. If I'm not mistaken, your school, of course, as a partner of Accenture, receives those either events, activities, or programs that you can already partake in. And also, if you follow our social media pages, we do announce a lot of events and activities there. So for first year student, probably internships are only the things that we can offer for now. But please do participate in our internship or in our activities. Hope that answers that. No.
Thank you,
And
Rain.
thank you also. Anything else po?
Okay, I think we're good, Rain. Um, are
Thank
we
you so
okay?
much, JT. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Again, thanks so much for the opportunity, guys.
Thank you
Appreciate
everyone.
it.
Thank you, JT. Thank you, Rain.
Thank you, JT. Thank you, Rain. And thank you also to Ma'am Julie for sharing her experience. I love it when JT says that it is not just all work. I personally think that JT will not stay for 13 long years if Accenture is not really a good place to work. If it is not just work, it is also pure fun, like what JT says. I think working with a company that takes care of their people and their people's family is really, really a great place to work. So if you don't have any more questions, JT would like to ask you for more time with you. We will be awarding you a certificate of appreciation before the program ends. Thank you so much, JT.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
For anything else, guys, we'd like to play a Energizer games. Let's now chill out. Maglalaro muna tayo, guys. So next slide, please. The game would be a word scrabble. Word scrabble. Word scramble. So the instruction would be there. Step 1, study the scrambled letters and try to unscramble or rearrange to form a word. you just have to guess the word or words that is associated to IT, and it is also associated to the photo flash. Okay? Pabilisan lang mag-type, tama? Pabilisan lang mag-type. And the good thing about this is that there will be 5 winners. Yes, 5 winners of 50 peso GCash. Okay? 50 peso GCash, 5 winners of 50 peso GCash. Okay? So, try muna natin. Try muna natin, ha? Okay? Bago kayo mag-type ng answer nyo, guys, you have to wait for my go signal. Kapag narinig nyo to, let's go SOAS. Kapag narinig nyo yung ganong go signal ko, saka lang kayo pwede mag-type ng answers nyo, okay? Kasi kapag hindi pa, wala pang go signal, hindi counted yon, okay? Everyone is allowed to join, guys. Kahit nanalo na kayo ng times 5. Pabilisan na lang mag-enter, yes. Okay?
Claire, tulungan kita mag-screen yung mga tamang sagot.
Thanks, Sir James. Okay, guys. First, trial lang muna. Try lang muna natin. Next slide, please. There. You have to guess the word, okay? 1, 2, 3, let's go, SOAS. Hey, wala pa yung go signal, guys. But that's okay. The right answer is the bug. It's a bug. Okay.
Grabe, o tingnan mo, 47 na agad yung sumagot, hindi pa wala pang go signal.
Wala pang go signal, guys, okay? Pag wala pang go signal, guys, hold your answers first, ha? Let's go, SOAS. Ganon. Okay? Okay, eto, totoo na to, guys, ha? Hatiin ng 50 pesos. Grabe. Hatiin ng 50 pesos sa 50 participants, guys. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. SOAS.
Gloria Shane.
Okay. Wait.
Sorry. Iba na pala.
Wait. May nanalo na. Ang dami. I think I saw BSP 1.3 kompletado, Liam.
Wait lang, let me write that down. Liam
B kompletado from BSP 1.3. Congrats! Congrats! There's 4 more questions, guys. There's 4 more pictures. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Let's go, SOAS! What's that? Oops. Who's that? Raisin? Raisin. I forgot to tell you guys, the other 2 winners would be from YouTube. Kukunin natin yung winners sa YouTube, yung 2 winners. And yung 3 ay dito manggagaling sa Zoom, okay?
Sorry, na-lost track ako, Claire. Ang bilis nila mag-type.
Raisin. Raisin po. Kaso unfortunately, wala siyang...
Sige, hanapin ko na lang siya sa list ng students. Raisin. Siya yung second winner? Okay. Blockchain.
Blockchain. The next winner, dito ulit sa Zoom. And then the last 2 winners ay manggagaling po sa YouTube. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Let's go, SOAS. What's that? Napaka-basic niyan. IT. Okay.
Uy, meron na.
Meron na. Oh, IT nga. From BSIT 2.1, Mark Vincent.
Mark Vincent Pagala.
Congrats! Okay, yung other 2 winners, ayan, si Sir James, ang titingin are si Rosel. From YouTube naman, so tumakbo na kayo sa YouTube, guys. May link po kayo ng live natin sa YouTube. Doon tayo kukuha ng winners, okay? Speed lang, ay. Speed lang, guys, okay? Game na ba sa YouTube? Nasa YouTube na ba kayo? 1, 2, 3. Let's go, SOAS. There. What's that? Sa YouTube tayo kukuha ng winners, guys. There. Si Joris Ingreso.
Joris Ingreso?
Opo, sa YouTube, sir.
Sorry, hindi pa ako naka-open.
Okay lang po. Joris Ingreso. There, 3.1 daw po siya. Congrats, Joris. And the last
BSIT.
one ay sa YouTube again. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Let's go, SOAS. Ang dali niyan. Go, guys. YouTube tayo. Okay. Trixie Joy Lima Mancao.
Ulit, Claire, sorry. What's the name?
Trixie Joy Lima Mancao.
Lima.
Mancao po. Hi,
Mancao,
Trixie
okay.
Joy. Sa lahat ng winners, sasabihin na lang namin kung paano nyo makiklaim yung prize nyo at the end of the program. Okay? Congrats, everyone. Congrats.
Sorry to cut you, Claire. On Friday na lang, they have to watch yung awarding.
Okay. On Friday, you have to watch the awarding, guys, as per Sir James. Congrats, everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed the game. Now, so, nag-enjoy naman yata ang lahat. Kahit medyo bitin, guys. Ayun. I hope everyone enjoyed the game. Now, let us hear some inspiring talk from our alumnus with 3 years of experience in the IT industry. He is a former QA analyst manual at BDO Unibank, a former junior QA manual at Essilor, and is currently working as a functional tester for Azure Care under Accenture Inc. We are very proud to introduce Mr. Aldhen Rizal Bitara.
Aldhen?
Nakamute po si Mr.
Wait.
Bitara. Sir Jacobo?
Sir Michael, pwede pong pa-co-host po si Sir Aldhen. Thank you, Sir Michael. You may unmute yourself, Aldhen. Your co-host na.
Ayun, okay na po. MJ kasi
Thanks,
ako
Aldhen,
yung pick eh. Ayun.
There.
Kita na po ba?
Yes, Aldhen.
So, good afternoon po sa lahat. Thank you nga po pala sa pag-invite as a guest speaker for this SOASTigin po. So, paano po susunod? Sorry, first time mo kasi.
Okay lang, Aldhen.
So, Pao, teka si ate, nagluluto pa eh. Yan, good afternoon po. So, graduate ako ng BSIT kay NTC batch 2019. So, magka-batch kami nung isa pang guest speaker na susunod sa akin ito si Michael J. I hope na marami kayong matutunan sa aming dalawa. So, yun po, after ko graduate ng IT kay NTC, nag-work ako kay Accenture, which is my first job. But that time, under ako ng tawag dito, agency, which is called Alsons. So, yun nga po, as sabi po ni Ms. JT kanina, yung about sa mga training. So, before ka mag-start kay Accenture, before ka i-deploy sa mga projects, magkakaroon muna po ng bootcamp. That time, nag-bootcamp ako for 2 weeks. And then, after that, during the bootcamp, may mga trainings na ginagawa and may mga exams din to determine kung sino yung mga makakapasa doon sa bootcamp na yun. And out of 26, 25 yung nakapasa and isa yung nag-fail sa amin. Hindi ko ma-remember kung bakit siya nag-fail. Siguro dahil doon po sa exam, hindi niya po napasa. During the training, marami po silang, bootcamp, marami po silang kinakonduct na training, especially, yung pinasok ko po kasi dito pala na position is for QA, quality assurance. So yung training is more on about automation testing. But unfortunately, hindi ko siya nagamit nung na-deploy ako sa project kasi yung napunta ko pong project nun is purely manual testing lang. And mabilis naman yung process talaga kay Accenture that time. After a week doon na-deploy. Yung iba naman is tawag dito, napunta sa bench. So, hindi ko alam kung paano yung process ng mga naka-bench kasi hindi ako napunta doon. Anong challenges naman na-experience ko nung nag-apply ako? Actually, hindi ito yung in-apply ko talaga that time. I was applying as a programmer. Nung pag-graduate ko, nung 2019, wala pang pandemic. So, ang process ng pag-apply nun is pupunta ka talaga sa mga office ng mga company na gusto mong applyan. And syempre, nakakapagod nga naman yung ganun. Naalala ko nun that lahat ng in-applyan ko na company, nag-fail ako. Hindi ako nakapasa. So, parang initial interview pa lang, tapos parang doon pa lang hindi na ako nakapasa. Kasi first time nga naman natin, wala kang experience. Yun din isa sa mga challenge din kapag nag-apply ka. Kasi yung ibang company, gusto nila yung may experience ka na or kahit knowledge man lang doon sa ina-apply mong position. And nung pauwi na ako, kinontak ako nitong agency and then yun nga, in-offer nila sa akin itong position. And syempre as a fresh grad and gusto mo na mag-work, in-accept ko na lang din siya and pumunta ako dun sa office nila. And one day process lang naman siya. Mabilis siya. Kaya yun, nakapasok ako kay Accenture. Pero that time, yung syempre iba sa atin, pagka-graduate, gusto na mag-work, iba kailangan talaga ng pera. Pero based on my experience na rin, sa akin, for me lang, yung sahod ko that time, it's not that big, minimum lang siya. So, 537 per day, magigit nyo naman ako magkano yun kapag kinumbit nyo. Hindi siya naging parang problem sa akin, yung pera. Kasi that time na-enjoy ko yung ginagawa ko gusto ko yung work ko, kaya tumagal ako kay Accenture noon for 1 year. But unfortunately nga, yun nga, nung nag-pandemic, nag-lay off sila ng mga employees nila and isa ako sa mga natanggal noon. Kaya hindi rin ako tumagal masyado kay Accenture. For ano na ako noon na alam ko for absorption na ako. Yun nga lang na napurnada gawa ng pandemic. And then, marami ako natutunan kay Accenture. Sobrang saya ng experience ko sa kanya nun. Kahit on-site yun araw-araw papasok ka sa office, mag-commute ka, and schedule ko pa nun panggabi. Kaya puyat ka talaga palagi nun. And ayun, as for my first job, okay nga, masaya nga naman siya rin. And after that naman po, nakalipat naman ako kay BDO. Alam naman natin na isa sa mga top companies yan dito sa Philippines. Pero hindi rin ako direct hire kay BDO nun. Under din ako ng another agency naman, which is called 77. Okay naman yung naging compensation ko doon. Kasi yun, after ng first job ko, binigay naman nila yung asking ko nun. Actually, mas malaki pa nga sa asking yung binigay, kaya in-accept ko kaagad siya. Pero hindi rin ako tumagal nun din kasi kay video. 6 months lang ako sa kanya. And ayun, okay naman yung mga first few months ko sa kanya. Na nagkaroon na lang din talaga ng problem nung later on na. Payslip reveal pa nga. Isa rin sa mga magiging challenges na kapag nag-work kayo and is yung sa mga kasama niyo sa work. Minsan, meron talaga kayong hindi mga makakasundo. Merong mga times na magkakaroon ng parang magpapataasan sila. Kasi nung ako noon, bago lang ako noon kasi parang 1 year pa lang experience ko kasi mga kasabay ko noon is more on mga senior roles na. Like mga 5 years of experience na, ganun. Na-experience ko yung parang in-isolate kanila sa team, which is not good, especially sa role ko nga, which is QA very critical din yung role na yun kasi sa system, yung mga ginawa ng devs, alam naman natin na walang perfect na program. So merong mga times din talaga na maraming error na ma-encounter or issues. Ayun, kaya nung na-experience ko yung ganun, I decided to resign sa kanila. And noted na lang ako kung ano yung reason. Sinabi ko naman yung reason ko sa kanila na yun nga, hindi po naging maganda yung experience ko sa team and I feel isolated. Hindi talaga natin maiwasan yung ganun. And after naman dyan, lumipat ako dito sa Essilor. More on yung mga nahawakan ko naman na companies for international. Kaya medyo nahahasa na rin yung pagsasalita mo sa English and communication na kanila, especially mga international clients yun. Dito naman sa last work ko na nalipatan, actually maganda rin yung nalipatan ko nito na huli. But unfortunately, hindi rin ako tumagal din kasi yung project is nag-end. May mga ganun cases na work is more on project-based. Pag natapos na yung project, may possibility na matapos na rin yung contract mo with them. And after that, binalik ako kay Accenture as software engineering analyst sa kanila. I'm happy kasi nakabalik ako sa kanila kasi sobrang gusto ko yung company na to. Sobrang grabe nga sila magbigay ng mga benefits, ganun. First day mo pa lang, meron ka na kagad leave. Tapos, kompleto na rin sa HMOs, mga other benefits nga. So far, okay naman ako sa kanila. Yung napasukan pa rin project is same nung una kong work. Same team pa rin yung napuntahan ko. And ayun, medyo nung pagkabalik ko, medyo natagalan yung process. Hindi ko rin alam kung bakit. Inabot ng 3 months yun bago ko nakabalik sa kanila. Sa ngayon, ang working setup ni Accenture, ayun nga, sabi nga ni Ms. Lady kanina, nagkakaroon na ng mga RTO. Pero sa case namin, sa project is parang ang magiging setup is once a month or twice, depende. I think depende sa iyo. Choice mo rin kung gusto mo once a week or once a month or twice a month. Ganun. So kapag sa mga fresh, sa mga graduate ngayon year, expectation nyo, dapat mag-set kayo ng expectation din talaga kapag mag-a-apply. Kailangan sa mga apply nyong company, kahit papaano, alam nyo dapat yung background ng company. Kahit brief background lang kasi tinatanong talaga nila yun. Kung may idea ka ba sa company nila or any knowledge about sa company, ganun. And especially sa role na ina-apply mo dapat may idea ka talaga. doon para tumaas din yung chance na ma-hire ka nila. And sa interview, I think kapag mga fresh grad naman, hindi naman ganun kalalanin yung mga tanong kasi tatanungin ka lang naman nila kung ano naging role mo sa thesis, kung ano yung tungkol saan yung thesis niya noon, share mo yung content ng thesis niyo, ganun, mga brief info about sa thesis niyo. And syempre, may mga times talaga na hindi ka talaga rin ma-hire. Okay lang yun. Part naman ng pag-apply kasi may mga failures talaga tayo in life na may experience. But, wag kang panghihinaan ng loob kasi malay mo, gaya ng nangyari sa akin, kung kailan pauwi ka na, doon may kakontak sa'yo. Ano pa ba? Pwede mo siya. Pag nakapasok ka na sa work mo, enjoy mo lang yung work mo. Siyempre, maging tawag dito. Huwag kang mahiya na magtanong sa mga kasama mo sa team kung meron kang mga hindi naiintindihan kasi mas maganda na meron kayong communication para makapag-proceed ka ng maayos sa work mo. And ayun, be passionate lang din sa role na gusto mo para maging okay yung flow ng work mo and walang magiging problema. Pero as I said earlier nga, meron talaga mga times na hindi natin maiiwasan yung mga negative experiences natin sa workplace. I think yun lang yung masashare ko sa inyo. And kung may mga questions po, throw it lang po.
Then later pa yung Q&A ha. Later pa yung Q&A natin.
Okay.
Thanks, Aldhen. Claire?
Sir? Thank you for that heartwarming and tons of inspiration, Mr. Bitara. Thank you so much for motivating and inspiring us.
Thank you.
If you have questions for Mr. Bitara, you can really ask questions after the talk of our last guest speaker, Mr. Lupos. I am really excited to introduce our last speaker for today's webinar. He is an experienced senior software engineer working with BPO companies and international clients. We are very proud to introduce you, Mr. Michael J. Lupos.
Hello guys. Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for having me today. Let's start. I'll share my screen. Yep, hopefully you can see it now. Can you see my screen? I can see it. I just want to formally introduce myself also. My name is Michael J. Lupos, but you can call me Jay. I'm currently a senior software engineer, but just a bit of a disclaimer. I resigned last month and last week, and I'm just using this currently since I'm just new with my work. Just a bit of disclaimer. I graduated in NTC also last 2019. Batchmate ko si Aldhen and we're actually thesis mate as well. And nabasa ko yung question kanina about our thesis. So our thesis is I think about naib-based. We're kind of predicting crimes. So we get the data from police station, then we apply naib-based. Then we kind of get to know how specific crimes will occur, like ma-hold up ka ba at this time of the day, something like that. So it's a bit I think there's no AI or something, just machine learning. Yeah, let's start. Just move my screen. So just a bit of about me. Yeah, I'm 3 years as a software engineer. So basically, I'm interchangeably using a lot of title. So sa IT, being a developer kasi is there's a lot of inconsistency sa title. You can be front end, you can be full stack, you can be back end, you can be software engineer, senior software engineer, mid-level, junior. So it doesn't matter sometimes. It's the compensation. Just kidding. Yeah. Just a trip down memory lane. 2018 we joined Hackatrend. I, June, Edward, and Mr. JC, as you can see here in the PowerPoint, and it's organized by LRMC. It's a private sector of LRT1. If you are familiar with their application, I think last few years they released the application, so it's the product of that. Although we are not involved in the development of it, but yeah, the hackathon that made that solution possible, we're involved in that. It's actually a industry level hackathon back then. We're just students, and yeah, we're the only students who won. Top 1 and top 2 are companies, startup companies basically, and founders. With top 10 Smart Sweep, yeah, smart. This one is a nationwide intercollegiate competition. So basically, we compete with Visayas and Mindanao universities, and they kind of fly to Luzon, to Makati to compete. This one is a bit tiring because it consists 3 rounds. We created our pitch and we get the top 20. In top 20, that's the second round. We compete for top 10. Top 10, we compete for top 3. That's the third round. And that's the final one. Unfortunately, we didn't win top 3 because of the business side of things. And yeah. Moving forward about me, yeah, I'm gonna share my experience as a fresh graduate. So basically, given all those hackathons, of course, joining hackathons will require skills, will require a lot of knowledge. I have a bit of web development, Android, Python, so I kind of needed to learn those things during the hackathons. But yeah, during when I applied to a lot of companies, back then wala ring pandemic, of course, I sent my resume by online. I don't wanna go to, I don't wanna walk in and send my resume there. So I just go to Job Street, send as many applications as I want. So that's actually one tip. Send your resume, everything, even if it requires 2 years of experience or 3, whatever. Just send your resume. Maybe back then, if you have, later on, if you have experience, they can contact you. So it's like giving your brochure or something to them. So later on, they can contact you. But it's a bit tough experience for me, even though I have skills to believe. Yeah, I didn't. I tried applying for POA as well. So there's this company there, kind of in mass hiring. So there's a lot of people, and they emailed me that I need to go to Makati to take their exam. And to my surprise, the exam consists of personality tests, and that would take 3 hours, including 1 hour of programming related questions. Some are, I think, multiple choices. So yeah, that's also another tip. Ask what how long the exam would take, how many interviews are you going to have to get a job offer. So yeah, those are the things that you would really ask and be informed. Because when I go there and sabi ko, oh my God, this is personality test. I'm not a fan of personality test. I understand the needs of personality test. It's just me that I'm expecting technical, I'm expecting programming related questions, give me problems, I'll solve it by a code, but I did not have it. So I kinda disappointed in that, and knowing Makati, alam niyo yung traffic doon, sobrang traffic, and yeah, and it's tiring. So yeah, look out for those questions. I actually have another experience. So basically, I have a broad knowledge with a lot of things. I feel like I'm a generalist in terms of IT, but that didn't help me at first. I have an interview with the head of engineering of a specific company na sobrang galing niya, and lahat ng sinasabi ko, they kinda kept asking me a lot of really, really technical and difficult questions, and boom, I failed with that exam. Moving to junior to mid-level, this one, I have a lot of experience. At this time, I had experience with one-on-one. It's one-on-one with your head of engineering or team lead. Basically, the goal is to set goals, like personal goals, professional goals. They will take down notes. If you have, like, they want to go to gym, they want to achieve things, do you read books? Those are personal ones. Professionally, do you want to learn some things? Do you want to, if you have, like, if you wanted to request a resource online, you can talk it about it. Experience programming as well, peer programming. So if you're familiar with that, so basically, there's two person. They kind of have the driver and the observer. They told you what you're going to write in the code, and you're going to discuss everything. I experienced as well code reviews. So you have to submit your code to your senior, and they will review it before merging to some stuff. So those are really technical ones, but yeah, the purpose of it is just to make sure that your code is well written, and there's no probably there's no issue in your code before deploying it. Senior software engineer, this time around, I kind of had to really touch unit testing. Maybe if you're not technical as well, it's gonna be just to explain unit testing is just you're testing your code in a manner that how it works unitly. So small pieces of code, you test it to make sure it works. So you have confidence in your code, something like that. And I kind of had to learn a lot of documentation stuff. So before we so the business person will say to you that we kind of need this feature. For example, notifications. Before we dive into code, we kind of need to create tech design. We have to have a proof of concept that it's gonna work, that it's gonna be, that it's feasible. Basically, that's within the senior one, and I kind of had to peer review as well. So basically, peer review is there's peer and code review. So peer review is the first code review, and it's like the other developer will review your code as well before it goes to the senior one. So yeah, I kind of had to do that as well. With the fresh graduate one, so basically I would just like to say that it gets easier. So nung fresh grad ako, sobrang hirap mag-apply, sobrang alam mo yung kaba mo is sobra, tapos pinagpapawisan ka ng malamig, and you're just not making any sense kapag nagsasalita ka. But later on, when you have done a lot of interviews, it's get easier. So yeah, moving forward with the tips. My tip number one would be my tip number one is know what you're looking for, and it comes to 3 items. So basically, day-to-day tasks or responsibilities. So you gotta know that because mag-work ka ng 8 hours a day, hindi pwedeng hindi mo gusto yung ginagawa mo, or it's gonna be hard if hindi mo gusto yung ginagawa mo. So yeah, probably research about what you're trying to apply for. Is it developer? Is it Android? Is it web? Is it QA? Is it DevOps? Are you gonna apply for BPO, like call center, tech support, desktop support. So those have each specific responsibilities and day-to-day tasks. So I think you gotta know that. And company perks. So I think the Accenture, I think Miss Jeanette already mentioned some perks with Accenture. So those are really important ones. The compensation first, of course, you gotta pay bills. So that should be that should cover your expenses and bills. And HMOs are really important one. And this one is a bit of an issue with me. So sick leave and vacation leave, that's gotta be, and look forward to it because magkakasakit ka, kailangan mo magbakasyon, mag-burnout ka. So you need to look out for those things as well. And this is, I want to put an emphasis on this one, long-term goal. So we're talking about career here. So there's gotta be, it's gotta have long-term goal. So if you're a developer, maybe you want to lead someday a team. If you're a QA, maybe automation, maybe lead QA as well. Those are things as well. And yeah, I just want to say, you're starting your career, that should have long-term goal. You think about it. That's it. The second tip is, interview often. Interviews are anxiety producing and nerve-wracking, and then over all unpleasant experience. So alam naman natin yan. Siguro mag-raise pa nga lang ng hand kapag alam mong tama yung sagot is sobrang anxious mo na, and pinagpapawisan ka na ng malamig. So what more yung nag-a-apply ka sa trabaho, and you're talking to developers as well, probably HR and CEOs. So yan, sobrang nakakakaba talaga siya. But it gets better. So just interview often. So para lang mas so you're getting used to talking to stranger, and sa mga tao medyo may mas matataas na position and mas may alam sa'yo, something like that. And yeah, always keep your options open then. So basically, even though you're kind of happy with your current positions, maganda yung compensation and other things, I think even your company knows that one day you're gonna leave. So yeah, it's just really good to keep your options open. So baka may mas magandang opportunity for you. And yeah, there's a lot of issue also with this one, especially if hindi ka na nag-grow sa company, or yung compensation mo is hindi na nako-cover yung needs and wants and bills mo. 3, make connections. So I wanna, this is the last tip, but it's the important one. So making a connection is a really good one, because I did not mention to you before how I got my first job, but yeah, my mentor before Sir JC came, Sir JC is my mentor as well. So Mr. Billy, he kind of referred me to his position when he parted ways with NTC. Nag-apply siya sa industry, and yeah, nung nalaman niya pag-graduate na ako, he mentioned that hiring sila, and yeah, I got the job. I started there, and yeah, this year, I think February, ako naman yung nakapag-referred to my former colleagues then. So basically, it's circling around. So yeah, may connections. Probably may mga taong magre-refer din sa inyo for work, and someday ikaw naman nilalapitan, and yeah, just make connections. I think that's it. Sorry, it took more than 15 minutes. I set my timer. And yeah, I'm happy to answer all the questions if you have. I'll stop my sharing.
Thank you so much for that, Mr. Lupos. I love it when Mr. Bitara and Mr. Lupos shares the same point about their experiences, diba? You really have to choose a job that makes you happy, that makes you grow, that gives you the opportunity to excel, diba? If you have questions for Mr. Bitara and Mr. Lupos, Now is the perfect time to ask them. So feel free to type your questions in the comment box. Into the comment box. Here's a question for Kuya J. For Kuya J po, are you generally self-taught when it comes to learning coding or other programming languages po?
So basically, before, I think magkaiba tayo ng curriculum. Before nung time namin is walang PHP. I think meron, but so sobrang luma na ng curriculum ko in way na they only teach HTML and CSS back then. I think HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, a bit of JavaScript. Walang mga Python. I think ngayon may Python na kayo and R. I'm not sure. But I think mas maganda yung curriculum ngayon way back then. And yeah, medyo self-taught ako.
Here's another question from Ashley Gomez. Ano pong ginagawa ng software engineer?
In a day-to-day task, so basically, meron kayong to-do list. Let's say to-do list. And yeah, you gotta work on that. Nandun yung acceptance criteria niya, andun yung user story. Medyo, I don't wanna get into details sa mga yun, but let's say you have to-do list and yeah, mag-work ka on that. If you're a web developer, specifically front-end, meron kayong Figma or Adobe XD, yung UI UX, ginagawa nila yun. Then you're going to convert that into HTML and CSS and JavaScript and all other things in front-end. And in the back-end naman, for example, may notification kayo, you need to create tables, you need to have a relational database. If you have that, or NoSQL. And yeah, in web development, there's actually front-end and back-end. So sometimes they communicate with each other. So si front-end yung mag-integrate ng ginawa ni back-end, like APIs. Then, yeah, that's it. I hope I answered your question, Ashley.
Another question from Eugene Dulay. Any tips when learning a new programming language, especially kung self-study, and how long do you take po?
That's an interesting question. So basically, sobrang boring manood ng tutorial. Gotta admit that. Kailangan mong umanap ng magandang content creator to really have, para ma-motivate ka, hindi ka ma-boring, hindi ka antokin, hindi ka ma-distract. So I would say just do it anyway. Maybe off your phone, off everything. Don't be distracted. Sobrang laking bagay ng self-discipline. So there's no way you could really learn something nang walang self-discipline. You gotta do it. Just do it. No excuses because dahil ba distracted ka, dahil ba ganito ganyan. So just do it and probably do GitHub. If you're familiar with GitHub, store your code there para meron ka ring. Of course, minsan may mga ginagawa tayo sa bahay and all, may lakad tayo. Siyempre, hindi naman natin pwede pagpalit yung mga ganung bagay. So just store your code in GitHub. GitHub is free. You can have a private repository there para kung nahiya ka mag-share ng code mo online. Yeah, para lang may logs ka ng mga code mo and such.
Here's another question from Miss Maria Grace Calalo. Sir Aldhen or Sir Michael, congrats po sa lahat po ng pinagdaanan nyo na eventually napagdagumpayan nyo. Ano po ang maipapayo nyo sa mga graduating students natin ngayon on how to stay competitive in today's workforce?
Do you want to answer that, Aldhen?
Sige, start ka na. Gagatungan ko na lang.
So, tips. Probably don't get stuck in tutorial hell. If you're familiar with the tutorial hell, tama ba yung term, tutorial hell? But yeah, it's like you're watching tutorials every single day and you're not really executing those tutorials. So if you watch tutorials, probably sundan mo, then create made a tweak on the tutorial, apply it in any if you're creating to do app, there's a CRUD in that tutorial. So probably create something like you can create a article, you can create comments, you make it a bit, wag kang mag-stick dun sa tutorial. Make it more advanced than it is para mas ma-enhance mo. So basically, yun yung isa sa mga naging problem ko back then. I always watch tutorials, and kulang na ako sa execution. So I said, this gotta stop. So yan, hininto ko siya, and yan, nag-focus ako more to work na I'm involved na sa mga ibang bagay, and hindi na lang puro tutorial.
I think Josh Josol, paano po kayo nag-aral programming nung college days nyo? Sir, mostly ba nagko-coding websites kayo or mostly build projects po?
So, yun. I think ini-mention niya yung website na coding tutorial. I think yung mga yung mga competition online, I'm not sure. Pero yeah, hindi ako nagganon. More on tutorials talaga. Then I just understand what I'm watching as much as possible, and yeah, execute it in another way. Huwag mo lang sundan yung tutorials. Get a piece of information in it, then put it in your own application. So if it is a to-do app, sabi ko nga merong CRUD doon, then maybe create something like Facebook or chat. There's CRUD also in it. So yeah.
From Sir James Keabiab to both Aldhen and Jay, what is your long-term goal in your career for the next 5 to 10 years?
So personally, gusto ko magtayo ng startup ko. It's gotta be solution provider company, but I think I'm not ready I'm not yet ready to it, but yeah, that's my long-term goal basically. I just wanna establish my startup company, just try it. Maybe, if it is for me or not, I'll be happy to know.
Here for our last 2 questions, Kuya Jay, tips para sa mga magka-capstone soon.
Magka-capstone soon. I think isa sa mga naging problem dyan back then is nagpo-focus sa stock na dapat gamitin, which dapat mag-focus ka sa kung anong problem yung meron. Yung lugar mo, ikaw mismo, community, yung bansa. So I think yun yung pinaka the best idea pag magte-take ka ng capstone. That's parang dapat lagi siya may nasa-solve na solution. And I think ang standard currently is at least meron siyang algorithm na ginagamit.
And for our last question, Sir Bitara and Mr. Lupos, how do you set your goals, outline the process?
I think sa din naman. Start ako. So basically, I wanna start my company later on. Pero sobrang impossible niya for me if I don't have technical skills and as well as business skills. So yeah, I think currently I'm working on my technical skills, and maybe later on I'll take business courses and stuff. But yeah, those are my plans, and with business side as well, pinapractice ko magbasa ng mga books currently. So I am exploring self-help books na. So I think good start siya just to make a habit of reading. Then later on I can read books naman about businesses and stuff.
Here, another pahabol, Kuya Jay. Gusto mo mag-collab tayo ng startup company? Gusto ko gumawa ng KPO na mag-over ng IT and library science-related solutions and services. Ako sa business side, management and admin side. Hehehe.
So yeah, currently medyo yung startup company na naiisip ko is I have my own idea and I wanna execute it in a way na I'm the business person as well. I understand your inquiry. Marami rin kasing ganyan. I think in the industry na merong business person and you're the technical one. But what I'm trying to accomplish talaga is at least ako yung maging both. Not saying na pareho akong magaling, but at least I gotta understand business side and technical side as well to really execute yung idea ko.
Okay, Jay, okay lang yun. Pero maganda yung plan mo na dapat both pareho mong alam. Hindi ka dapat taasa sa isang partner mo na sa business lang siya magaling. Maganda yung ganong mindset.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Lupos and Mr. Bitara, for your time and effort to join us in our webinar and our career talk. I am very honored to be the one to present the certificates to our guest speakers. So next slide, please. This certificate of appreciation is hereby presented to Ms. Jeanette Tubil for her invaluable contribution as a session speaker, successfully finding a career in the digital landscape during the SOAS Week 2022 with the theme SOASTigin ang Sarili, Bayan at Kinabukasan, Innovation Towards Self-Development and Nation Building for the Future, held in March 30, 2022. Signed by our SOAS Dean, Engineer Salain S. Duque. Thank you so much, Miss Rain. Thank you so much, Miss Rain. I also wanted to present this certificate of appreciation to Mr. Aldhen Rizal Bitara for his invaluable contribution as a session speaker, successfully finding a career in the digital landscape during the School of Arts, Science, Technology, SOAS Week 2022 with the theme SOASTigin ang Sarili, Bayan at Kinabukasan, Innovation Towards Self-Development and Nation Building for the Future, held in March 30, 2022, signed by our SOAS Dean, Engineer Salain S. Duque.
Thank you po.
Lastly, to present the certificate of appreciation to Mr. Michael J. Lupos for his invaluable contribution as a session speaker, successfully finding a career in the digital landscape during the School of Arts, Science, and Technology SOAS Week 2022 with the theme SOASTigin ang Sarili, Bayan at Kinabukasan, Innovation Towards Self-Development and Nation Building for the Future, held on March 30, 2022, signed by our SOAS Dean, Engineer Salain S. Duque. Thank you so much po sa ating mga guest speaker. The whole SOAS department as well as the NTC community highly appreciates the opportunity you've given us. We are overjoyed to have you here as our guest speakers. And of course, we've learned so much from you. Thank you very much. So before we end this webinar, may we call on our LibCom advisor, Mr. Mark James Kayabyab, to deliver his closing remark.
Thank you, Claire. So first of all, I would like to say again, thank you to all our invited speakers, kay Miss Jeanette, sa tulong din ni Ma'am Rain, to all our BSIT alumni for, alam mo yun, naging selfless sila on sharing their best practices on applying sa work, kung anong dapat iwasan ng mga pitfalls while working. I would like to say also, thank you for these organizers ng SOAS Week. I would like to say thank you to Claire, to Rosel, to Angel, to everyone who helped us come up with this wonderful and very engaging talk, yung BSIT Career Talk. So sana in the near future, marami pa tayong ibang mga BSIT na mga alumni that could talk about their journey and at the same time navigate ng mabuti yung kanilang career path na pwede nilang i-share yung mga learnings nilang na yon sa mga estudyante natin dito sa NTC na nagte-take ng IT. And again, to all the participants and all the teachers who are in this call and who attended our webinar, thank you for taking time. Maraming salamat po sa lahat. So I give you the virtual floor again to Claire. Claire?
Thank you so much to our very own LibCom advisor, Sir James K. Abiab, for that closing remarks. We appreciate you being here. As an additional announcement, guys, everyone, for the certificate of attendance, please fill out the evaluation form. Here's the evaluation form. Ilalagay ko sa comment box. Click nyo yung link sa chat box. And ayan, thank you again for joining us today. And I really hope to see you again next time. Again, I am Claire Andela Cruz, your master of the ceremony, signing off. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.